rape the brother, they rape the sister, they rape the auntie, they rape the auntie, they rob you of all your jewel, they take your car if you have a license firearm, they take your firearm, and they go on with that. And those that are supposed to vote for this bill, for the next year, you all are pleased and it's okay with that. What are they smoking? You cannot come and tell Saieed, well, hear this now. Saieed, mass mandatory, here we go. It come to an end. And then you come and tell me, here we go on side. If you go to the supermarket, the grocery, or the malls, you have to wear your mask. Saieed, if you go to a pharmacy, you have to wear your mask. Saieed, if you're traveling, you have to wear your mask. If you're in the transportation hub, you have to wear your mask. If you go to the church side, you have to wear your mask. If you're in the school side, you're wearing your mask. If you go to a barber salon, you go to the theater, you're wearing your mask. Which dum-dum in Trinidad and Tobago will go in a theater and buy a popcorn and a juice and sit down and wear a mask? Dance! If every councillor go through their constituency, do video clips like this and send it for us, I'm gonna be so happy just to play it on our program on a Wednesday night. You know why I would be happy? I will be filled with joy in my heart. You know why? Because the councillor is getting off their butts and they are actually going and doing some live video shoots. Real Talk took the initiative to find out suppliers of wheat in the world that National Flour Mill could go to. So now Romano is saying the company is not going to raise any price in the near future. Why? Why? Is it because the S-boss and they realize now that, hey, it is in the public domain that we could go right Mexico and buy flour and wheat? We could go right China and buy wheat? I am about change. And thus far, Real Talk is very effective in Trinidad and Tobago, coming towards making changes for the citizens. Public Utility Minister Marvin Gonzalez have urged the population to appreciate and be grateful for the availability of the utilities. This, as Gonzalez recalled, time in his life when he had to fetch water using a bucket from a nearby river. Gonzalez, I want you to understand something. I want you, Mr. Gonzalez, to understand something. You are being paid thousands of dollars by public utility, by the finance ministry, to govern WASA. Come on. To govern WASA, I want you to understand that you ain't going in no office for no free code. You are being paid. Do not tell me that I, Saieed, have to be grateful for the water I get it. Let me tell you something, Gonzalez. Every 4 months, I have to pay $400 and I get water once a bloody month. So don't come on a media briefing and say, Saieed, you have to be contented, you have to be happy. Marvin, the next best thing for you to do is to resign and get the hell out of here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk with Saieed Ali. I am your host Saeed. We do want to thank you for joining us tonight, Wednesday the 18th of January 2023. Remember, we are on all social media platforms, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. Real Talk with Saieed Ali is on Facebook, so just search for the name, like it, add us, share us. On YouTube, it's TT Real Talk. Subscribe, hit the bell, you would know when we go live. And we are also on TikTok. Saieed Ali Real Talk. Add us, like us, share us, to friends and family, local, regional, and they will know about the #1 current affairs program. So we currently stand at the #1 viewers. I give God thanks for that. That is what I give God thanks for. It's been a long journey, 5 years, and going up the ladder. It's been hard work, long hours, but successful. Some who started with us and not with us, but nevertheless, everybody have their own road. They have their own road. So tonight we're going to have an interview with Rajiv Dipti concerning the hike in food price. We have some public concerns tonight. We have some updates for you. You know, we have a packed show tonight, viewers. So call your friends, call your family. We're giving you this time to let them know that Real Talk with Saieed Ali is live. Our phone number to contact us, it's 2386716. If you want to interact with us live so the public will be able to hear your concerns. It is Wednesday. It is our public concerns night in Trinidad and Tobago, where we want to hear about the bad roads, the bad box drain, water in your community, the street light not working, you haven't seen your MP or your councillor. If you work in a regional corporation, feel free to call in. If you are a councillor, feel free to call in. On a Wednesday night, we just like to hear from the councillors. Why I say that is because the councillors represent the community. And if the community is not seeing the councillors, how would they know what is taking place in their area? How would they know? It's sad when we are not hearing from councillors, when they offer themselves up for a position and do not make themselves known or do not act in their position. There's a lot of people who have position and refuse to act in it. Some just don't care. I passed through that. They have people in a position and they just don't give a crap. They do what they want. Ministry officials do what they want. They have work to do, but they just don't care. All they care is that they got a salary and they go home and that's it. That's it. We have many of that in Trinidad and Tobago, people in offices, in high places, in low places, but that seems to be their mentality. They just don't care. Now, if you don't care, do you expect somebody to care in return? But nevertheless, tonight, just an update. Christine Kangolo resigned as the House President. Nigel De Freitas will replace Christine Kangolo as Senate President. De Freitas was appointed unopposed by Senate Amy Brown during today's sitting of the Senate. In announcing his appointment, Senator Brown confirmed that De Freitas will no longer hold the post of ministry in the Ministry of Agriculture, Land and Fisheries. On Monday, Christine Kangolo resigned as Senate President ahead of Friday's Electoral College election for President. Kangolo is a government nominee for the post. Listen to this. So viewers, come Friday, the government has put up Christine Kangolo. UNC has put up Mr. Khan. So come Friday, we're going to know who is viable for the position. Is according to the votes of the Electoral College, that is who we will know will be the next president of Trinidad and Tobago. But I have to ask this question tonight. Will the Electoral College act favorable or are they an independent body that nobody has influence over? It's a serious question because we are appointing someone to be the 7th president of Trinidad and Tobago. Will there be biasness? Will there be fairness in all? This is what we want to know. Is Khan liable to be the next president of Trinidad and Tobago? Opposed to Christine Kangolo, who the government have nominated? Ask yourself that. Will this be a fair play or will it be favored? We don't know. We will have to wait and see. If we know how things goes in Trinidad. We know how things goes in Trinidad. Minister of Trade and Industry Paula Gopiskun says the price of food in supermarket is too high, even though price of some commodities have been trending downward in several parts of the world. While she is not calling for a boycott, she says consumers should use their purchasing power wisely when shopping. She is not calling for a boycott. She is the Minister of Trade. Now, being the Minister of Trade, you have to be favorable on each side. On each side. Gopiskun stated that while prices are still highly globally, there have been reduced price in the price of several goods as reflected in the FAO price index. The CSO said the full impact of the price increase were offset by general decrease in the price of tomato, full cream powdered, milk, orange, shrimp, and many others. The item index pointed out that a 0.2 increase in price overall. President of the Supermarket Association, SAT, Rajiv Dipti, agreed that Gopiskun saying customers have the power to reduce overall food price by being more discerning in what they buy and at the cost. I've always said this. We have the power, we have the ability, we have the choice to choose. That power is in our hand. At the end of every 5 years, we, the citizen, we, the individual, have the power to vote who we want to be in government. And it's the same thing with purchasing power. Purchasing power gives you the opportunity to choose on how you purchase an item or how you buy in bulk. Weigh your options. What would work for you, what can substitute for you, and what is too high for you to purchase. Things that you don't need. We have that power. Hence the reason why in other countries, when prices goes up on items, citizens don't purchase. They leave it there. They don't need it. In countries, price go up as much as sometimes 5 cents, 10 cents. And they abandon it on the shelf. In Canada, in the US, they leave it right there. They don't need that. Because that 5 cents and that 10 cents goes above their budget. It goes above their budget. Because lately I've been seeing pumpkin selling for $68 and $70 a pound. A kilogram. Imagine that. Pumpkin reaches $68 per kilogram. A kilogram is 2.5 pounds. Imagine that, eh? Imagine that. It's sad, it's sad. I mean, what can the president of the Supermarket Association do? What can he do? Other than indicate to us what is taking place globally, the shipping costs, ask us to watch our spending, you know, things like that. So viewers, we are going for a short commercial break, and hopefully when we come back from that break, we're supposed to have Mr. Dipti on the line to give us an idea of how the shipping cost is flowing, prices varying, and stuff like that. So I will see you right after this break.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Realtalk Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Realtalk Group of Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas, or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
Do you have a public concern you would like to highlight? You can email your pictures and videos to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com, and we will highlight your concerns on our show for Public Concerns Wednesday. Real Talk Credit Union stores are now open to members of the public. We are located at the Real Talk Group of Companies building at number 14 Crony Savannah Main Road. Opening hours are from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Contact us via telephone at 238-6716 or 231-6219 to book your appointment. You can also find us on Facebook at Real Talk Credit Union.
Welcome back to Real Talk, viewers. Now, in the midst of festivities for the carnival season, President of the Supermarket Association of Trinidad and Tobago, Mr. Rajiv Dipti, is calling on the police service for more patrol around grocery stores, given the recent increase in shoplifting. Dipti stated that during the COVID-19 period, there were more cases of armed robberies, and although the TTPS had generally been helpful in the incidents, he expects an increase in criminal activity during the carnival season. He said, these items such as cheese, baby formula, coffee, luxury meat items are the most stolen goods, resulting in them now being locked away at some groceries. Now, Dipti also added that there is a no quick fix solution to this criminal activity, as it is a Mr. Rajiv Dipti, the President of the Supermarket Association of Trinidad and Tobago. Mr. Dipti, good night, sir.
Good night, Saieed. Good night, Trinidad and Tobago. And a Happy New Year to you personally.
I didn't get a chance to wish you and your family Happy New Year, even though we are a little down in the year. Today's already the 18th. But nevertheless, Happy New Year to you and your family. Now, Mr. Dipti, I have some questions for you, and these questions the public would love to know. Now, question number one, what is being done to stop the increase in shoplifting at supermarkets?
Well, Saeed, it really is an issue where we've been experiencing, as you would know, as I've said here before, the organized pilferage. There's been organized gang pilferage, particularly throughout COVID, that persisted into the final quarter, the final half of last year, and that is just something that has become more frequent. It's become something where, stores have become easy targets, but particularly with the shoplifting. There's been incidents of violence, crime, and armed robberies, but the shoplifting is perhaps more indicative of the socio-economic situation where people find the prices high, and it's an excuse as well for shoplifters to hide behind, because the kind of people that we find shoplifting might surprise you when we do the background checks. But it's a situation where stores have had to assess the vulnerabilities of their establishments and taken extra precautions, and in some cases we've outside of that, what the stores can do, we've been working with the community patrols. I mean, we're heading into Carnival as well, And these things, you know, were expected to persist throughout Carnival, where you have more revelry and all of that going on, taking place. So you really want to put things in place with joint patrols, community police, community WhatsApp groups, community chats, and really kind of get that going so that stores in the community work with community officers. But it's just a sign of the socioeconomic conditions that continue to prevail, where you have inflation not only in food but in the cost of living. Right now, we had an increase in gas prices that accounted for certain factors when it came to the increase in cost of operation. So it's particularly a time right now where people are struggling to cope.
Now, can you give us an update on the price increase concerning the shipping and the type of item that would have been increased in Trinidad and Tobago?
Sorry, Saeed, I'm not hearing you properly.
Can you give us an update on the increased price on food items in Trinidad and Tobago? Just one or two items, and could you give us an update of the shipping cost of containers?
Right. So as was noted in the media this week, and you know, you would have noted that there's been some comments on the cost of shipping and particularly freight costs, and those have normalized to an extent. And I will tell you that, for example, when you consider China and the Far East, the cost of a container, where it had reached peaks of about $20,000 in peak COVID times, it's back down to about $5,000.
Okay,
now,
that's
the
good.
issue isn't really whether we're importing food from China, because we don't really import food from China. Most of our containers come from Europe and North America.
Okay.
Now, what you have going on is a situation where factories around the world haven't gotten back into production at pre-pandemic levels.
Okay.
Also now factor into this equation that fuel prices are very high, and it's creating a situation of inflation in those territories. Take into consideration as well that China ended its zero COVID policy December 31st, but as a result, it created adverse conditions at one of the largest ports in the world.
Yes.
So, you know, the equipment and machinery that you need to continue to get parts, it's been a real challenge. So when you consider that oil has gone up as well, remember that oil goes into plastics and plastics go into packaging and wrapping, and you could see where the inflation is happening. It's on everything. So while the freight costs have come down, around the world conditions have not come down from the overheating that COVID created. Remember, you had 2 to 3 years of this messy situation called COVID.
Yes.
So then it's not going to come down one time. It's a situation that is improving. It's a situation where you've had some downward pressures on frozen meats in particular, and those prices are coming down in Europe. I mean, in Europe they had a bad crop with potatoes, so frozen French fries have gone up a little bit.
Okay.
But the truth is that you've had these situations that are accounting for it. So while the message I really want to push tonight or emphasize is that while the freight costs have come down, there have been situations and instances and circumstances that have lent to the situation, because foreign suppliers are passing on price increases. Remember, our local suppliers are buying goods from North America and the U.S., and those foreign suppliers would, if they send up the prices, the local guys here have no choice but to buy it at the higher prices.
I understand. Now, what advice would you give to customers who purchase
you know,
food?
aside from, I know that everyone has been working on a budget. I can tell you that the supermarkets, we are extremely sensitive right now about price points, because you know, when you get a price from a supplier, you will know if it could sell or it can't
Correct.
sell. Right? Yes. So we particularly sensitive to that. It's not that we're going to just take it and put it out there, because a lot of products have been discontinued and they have disappeared from the stores. In fact, you will see so many new brands in the supermarkets, and that is an attempt to provide alternatives because they're looking for cheaper products right now. And that goes for biscuits, that goes for meats, that goes for chocolates, all kind of thing is going for. And that side is an attempt by suppliers to shop for alternative options. Aside from budgeting, I mean, people talk about the backyard gardening and thing. I know that only goes so far, but you have to dabble in a little bit of everything to try to cut the spending. And I know you really can't cut the spending more than you're doing it, but when you have little choice, especially, and again, that word is very important, choice. Consumers have choice. You can choose what to buy in any category of product, and what to consume is really a question of priorities. Even for some of those warehouse membership shopping places where they offer it, I've heard that they've experienced the same problems as the supermarkets. So it's not just a supermarket problem, but I think it's a global problem. I think it's a sectoral problem. And I think if you look at some of the other sectors, even at some of the showrooms of some of the big car dealers across the country, they don't have any vehicles. And that is because there's been lots of delays, lots of issues, lots of problems. So I think that it's going to take some time to iron out, but it is a situation that is constantly improving. Remember that China is essentially where we were a year and a half ago.
Yes.
That is where they are now with COVID.
Yes.
So it'll take some time to iron out, in my opinion, just looking at things side.
Now, I don't know if you have any ideas. Now, with the owners of supermarket in Trinidad and Tobago, what is their feedback concerning prices, concerning customers coming in? I mean, what are the owners of supermarket thinking? Are they saying that soon we will have to close down, or we won't be able to extend, or we might have to shut down half of our grocery? I mean, what is the word from the owners of the supermarket concerning pricing right now and purchasing power?
It's a frightening time for any grocery owner. And let me tell you, all grocery owners are customers.
Yes.
All grocery owners, when they see a price, they are more sensitive than the customer because they know what it is, the price, that they have to put it out on the shelf for the customer to buy. The thing about it is, too, when you are buying goods for your supermarket, you're going to be spending more money now because the prices went up on the goods.
Yes.
So that is also something that you have to put aside for in consideration when you capitalize your operation. Now, that is not a good thing because, you know, if you that means your overheads became higher. And customers now, you still want to put a deal out for customers. So you're still playing the volumes game. And it's very difficult to bob and weave. And I think we've all been trying very hard. I mean, we've been trying hard in 2 years with COVID. We've been trying hard now with the inflation. And it's important to know the inflation not just happening in food, it's happening everywhere.
Correct.
But in the lowest house, I remember when you talk about households, the first thing money they spend on is food. So you look at it. But it is being experienced across all sectors. And it is something that is extremely alarming, extremely frightening. And I mean, if you consider what's going on in the UK right now, because of high fuel prices, they have to make a decision if they want to leave the lights on or turn on the heat. That is where it is right now in the United Kingdom.
Now, concerning Forex, U.S. currency, is the owners of supermarkets, are they getting the qualified amount, or do they have to show a purchase?
So, you know, that issue of foreign exchange is not an issue for the supermarkets. That's an issue for distributors who have to go and get the foreign exchange to go and buy the goods, and the suppliers. So those guys are like the middlemen. They have to go and buy the goods from the foreign suppliers in the foreign countries who will say, okay, well, I need to get paid in X amount of US dollars, or if they'll give you a credit facility. Those guys are seeing, obviously, there are some pressures to access the foreign exchange, and that has been I mean, ad nauseum thing, sorry, that didn't change, and everybody's still making do. Obviously, that's going to contribute to some products disappearing altogether, because if you don't have credit facilities or you don't have foreign exchange, then you won't be able to get the goods. But it is an ongoing issue that is just something. I mean, I will have to see how that improves with a reopened economy, particularly in mind.
Now, one quick question. Colin Mimbut said that the Exim Bank, right, had offered, I believe, a couple $1 million to wholesalers. So I'm asking this question: does the wholesalers of goods in the supermarket industry, did they have access to that money, or they didn't have access to that money in the Exim Bank?
I deal personally with Exim Bank on behalf of the association and its Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Navin Dukaran, and a facility is in place for a essential food items list that was prepared by myself since the outbreak of COVID in 2020.
Okay.
Attention has been paid to that list since the period every year. It has been reviewed constantly every year with some items going on and off. And it's been, should we say a wholesaler or an importer of goods needed to access foreign exchange, it needed to fulfill the criteria as placed on that list for consideration. So it's not any and everybody who say, well, we can't get foreign exchange because Exim Bank not getting it. Remember, we're giving consideration to what is classified as essentials, like the basics and what might go along with the basics. If you're importing shrimp and steak, and I'm just using some out there analogies, you're not going to get a foreign exchange for that. But there is a facility in place with Exim Bank, and it's been, I have to say, it's been performing.
Okay, so there was performance.
Yes, it's been, and as I understand, it's a facility that's been renewed again this year, barring anything outlandish.
All right. Mr. Rajiv, I do want to thank you so much for taking the time to call us. I know you are a busy man, and again, Happy New Year to you and the family.
Thank you, Saeed, and a pleasant good night to yourself, your family, Trinidad and Tobago, all the best.
So viewers, we are going for a short commercial break, but when we come back, we're going to the government extend migrant registration process after this break.
Do you have a public concern you would like to highlight? You can email your pictures and videos to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com, and we will highlight your concerns on our show for Public Concerns Wednesday.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Realtalk Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saeed, Managing Director of Realtalk Group of Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas, or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
Welcome back to Real Talk, viewers. The migrant registration program has once again been extended, according to the National Security Minister Fitzgerald Hines. Hines said that he approved 9,133 applications and a total of 449 were not recommended because of breaches in the law on the part of applicants. The minister added that there are now 4,710 pending applications since the start of the migration registration program in April 2019, the government have decided to continue extending it every year. Wow. Question about expired migrant card was also raised, but Hines stated that this was a matter of administration. Hines, this is for you. You just ducked that question. You just ducked that question. If you extended the migrant registration, and I would ask, so what about the expired cards on them? You would tell me this is for the administration. This is not for the administration. This is for you to answer. You told us you extend it. So you can't tell us what's going to happen with expired migrant. You just ducked a question. Doesn't the administration take order from you? Come on, Hines. Be a man. Be a man and stand up to responsibility. Who does the administration take order from, Navin? Not Fitzgerald Hines, if he's the Minister of National Security and he extended. Hey, you're playing cat and mouse. Hines, you're playing cat and mouse. You ducked a question, and it is a very, very important question. All you had to say, well, within the next 3 months, those of you who have expired cards, migrant cards, we are giving you a grace period of 6 months to come and renew. That is all he had to say instead of ducking a question. Hines, what kind of little boy thing you on? You might duck the public, but you can't duck Saieed. I will tell you that. Now, under the program approved, migrants will be able to work in this country for 1 year, and Venezuelans who are registered will also benefit from free emergency medical service at public health institutions. Hines also noted that things have improved in Venezuela and many of them have opted to return home. Many Venezuelans who left TNT stated they are unlikely to return because of the rising cost of living and the inability to get their children in school and the uncertainty of the legal status. Imagine that, eh? These Venezuelans went back home and they say, hey, here what's going on, I ain't coming back to Trinidad, the cost of living too high. It is cheaper in our country. Imagine that. Call a good night. Hello? Lost that? So viewers, it's that time now where we go to our public concerns. Remember, we deal with the road, the bridges, the box drains, things like that. You're not seeing your MP? Feel free to call in 238-6716. That is now our number to call in to interact with us and the public. Now, under the public sector investment program, $3 million have been set aside to deal with the eradication of the giant African snails and other pests. So look at this. Look at this Trinidad and Tobago. $5 a kilogram, I believe, is for these snail. This is under the public sector investment program. From Monday 16th of January to February 2nd, farmers, community groups, and others can collect a gas and get a reward of $5 per kilogram. A kilogram is 2.2 pounds from the Ministry of Agriculture, Land and Fisheries. Persons can drop off the invasive species on two sites, County Caroni Office and Southern Main Road, Chase Village in Shoguners, or County Street, St. George West. Their office is at Farm Road in Curragh. President of the Agriculture Society of Trinidad and Tobago, Darrell Rampersad, commended the government for the effort. I don't want to condemn, I don't want to condemn. But they allocated $3 million for the farmers and the community to catch snail. To catch snail, Trinidad and Tobago. But they couldn't allocate $5 million and split it between corporations to buy raw material to patch holes on the government roads in the community in Trinidad and Tobago. So let me talk about that. A snail, a giant African snail, farmers could pick it up and bag it. Correct? Farmers could pick it up and bag it. So let's just say farmers pick up the snail, carry it to the ministry. What is the ministry going to do with it? Good question. What is the ministry going to do with it? It's a pest. Are they going to kill it? Are they going to kill it? So if the ministry is going to kill it, the farmers, not condemning it, but are just saying something. They could pick it up and kill the insect the same way. And they could pick it up and kill the insect the same way. Not condemning, you know, but are finding out something. Are just finding out something. Now, the farmers now would come out, Navin, and complain about the roads where they had to go to the garden. Correct? They're complaining about the roads where they had to go to the garden. That is bad and the government not fixing. If I wrong, public, John Public, if I am wrong, tell me. If Saieed Ali is wrong, tell me. I am mad enough to apologize to the farmers of Trinidad and Tobago. I am man enough. But they allocate $3 million to catch snail. What about the road? The farmers have to use the government road to go to their garden. Always remember, common sense was made before books. I want to let you understand that. Common sense was made before book. Daryl Rampasad, what you need to do is bring your farmers together and protest about the roads that the government not fixing to go to your garden, or the bridge that you have to go over that needs repair to go to your garden. That is just a suggestion from me. Farmers in central Trinidad have stated that the government bounty on a giant African snail may just be an increase or an exercise in failure. The farmer said $5 per kilogram is not an incentive to collect snail because of the rising cost of fuel and food. Deputy Manick, president of the Felicity Food Crop Farmers Association, stated that the Ministry of Agriculture, Land and Fisheries failed to consult with farmers before the program was implemented. Let's talk now, man. Talk now, man. What do you have to say now? And then the government is one to say, oh, we consulted with John Public. Who is John Public you consulted with? $3 million could have gone in roads and bridges to fix where farmers have to pass over the bridge to go to their crop. I'll come now and talk something now I want to hear earlier. We have a call. Caller, good night.
Saeed, pleasant good night.
To you, my dear.
Saeed, all that is gimmick.
Correct.
Political games.
Correct.
Somebody getting kickback. Kick back, kick side, kick front. That is the nonsense we have going on here. The deplorable roads condition. Busting up your boot rubbers, your shocks, your everything on the road. I look at a talk show this morning, and there's a certain machine that this government could bring in this country and fix 200 plus potholes and parts of the road in one day. Right? But they wouldn't do that. All of them sit down up there in their suit and jacket and tie and all kind of thing. Right?
Correct,
because
correct.
you know why they ain't doing that, Saeed? They're taking our tax-paying money, your hard money you working for and paying your tax.
Yes.
Because I retire. But when you see, they take the people and give them the contracts, kickbacks.
Correct.
Kickback, so they won't bring that machine here because nobody can get no grease hand and grease foot. And the roads in a mess. And when they do a little piece of road, you're hearing the next one. I don't want to call him by no name, but you're hearing the next one coming. Oh, we have so much millions in road rehabilitation.
Yes.
I know if the roads was on drugs to rehabilitate the roads, you understand? So that is the nonsense we're going through. Everything is politics and kickback. Thank you.
Thank you, my dear. $5 is an insult. It's an insult. Farmers complaining about bridges and road to go to their garden. But the $3 million allocate for snail. Hey, watch me now. It goes to show that those in agriculture, on the heads of agriculture, sitting on the big seat, they don't care about you on the road and the bridge. Just how you pass and pick up the giant African snails and bag it up in a corner, right? That $3 million that the government give an reward to, right? They could have taken that and fixed that to Farmers Road and bridges. That is what they could have done. You think the farmers care about how you get to your crop? No. They're more concerned about the snail. When you could bag up the snail and put it in a corner. Imagine that, eh? That is where you call Ministry of Agriculture caring for you. They're not concerned about the road, they're concerned about the snail. Call a good night.
Good night, Mr. Saeed. Great program as usual.
Thank you, my friend.
Well, I want you to also know that your viewership is so wide and many people listen. Even Mr. Harvey Boris from the hot seat, big you up here. I don't know if you were aware of that.
I am, yes. That's why we got in the, that is why we remain the #1 current affairs program.
Sure, right, man. He praised you quite a lot for the good job you are doing. And the citizens, many citizens who want to call, continue to praise you. Mr. Saeed, I have a problem. Since 2020 was a dig up in front of my house. I live on the Naparima Road, Petit Cafe Junction. Last week, Wednesday, since 2020, my yard started sinking. I have a retaining wall that is cracked, you know. And last week, Wednesday, the Ministry of Works, Matilda office came and threw some hot mix. So I approached the supervisor and asked him, well, what about the entire area that water had damaged, and look what is happening. It's damaging my wall, my yard is sinking. He said that is not their responsibility to fix it. So he patched a little bit. I sent you a video there, and if you see what they did, the little piece of work they did. So he's telling me it is not their responsibility to fix the entire hole because it is on private property. It is not so. It is not on private property. This is what WASA damaged. And it is WASA responsibility, the state responsibility to restore this. Now, when I take legal action against the state now, it is a cost to me. I have to keep running. Come on now, man. I hope somebody is listening to come here and fix this. I live on the Petit Cafe Junction on the Naparima Mayaro Road. I sent a video for Mr. Saeed. You could see the kind of work they did. Mr. Saeed, thank you for giving me this opportunity. I hope somebody will respond to me and fix this for me. Thank you. Keep up the good work.
I have the video, right? I believe I sent it to Jove. Should have the video. So viewers, we will show that video in a short while. In a short while. We have the video there. They are uploading the video. You will see it. Thank you, my friend, for sending it in. We will highlight it tonight for you. So there's a Ministry of Rural Development and Local Government, Faris Al-Rawi, have stated that nearly $500 million has been allocated to his ministry through various means to deal with road repair, and one of the source of funds is said to come from extra money you pay at the pump. What, Faris? Extra money we pay at the pump? Al-Rawi added that $386 million have been allocated through the public sector investment program. He said that even though the population was upset over the rising cost of fuel, a lot of money is going towards road repair. Al-Rawi stated that 70% of the increase in cost came to the government. So if you're paying more at the pump, his mission is to spend nearly $400 million on road repair, maintenance, and public sector investment program. You ever call? Imagine that, eh? Imagine that. He further noted that the ministry is also preparing to launch an app which can help the public notify officials quickly where road repair and other problems needed to address. But the population have been crying out. So seeing that they have almost $400 million to spend now, why did Faris Al-Rawi leave Ministry of the Attorney General to come down to the new program that they called Public Investor Investment Program. Public Sector Investment Program. That is a new program. It is under the Rural Development. Viewers, why did Faris leave Attorney General office? Come on, come on. Here's where the question comes in. Why did Faris Al-Rawi left the Attorney General office, being the Attorney General of Trinidad and Tobago, to come down now to be the minister in the rural development and local government? Why? Tell me why Trinidad and Tobago? Tallman? Giles? Everybody know that name now? Nevin, that is a question to the public. I wonder how much money the Attorney General's office gets. He left that. When they created this program, and they could have left Kazim Hussein in that ministry. Come on, man, Trinidad and Tobago, wake up. Wake up. Not any and everybody could be able to have access to this. They want to talk? Now we talking our talk. Why didn't they leave Kazim Hussein as the minister in the Ministry of Rural Development and Local Government? Why they didn't left Kazim there? Oh, so we created a new program and we're going to put Faris there to control $400 million. So you're going to tell me Kazim couldn't do it? Trinidad and Tobago, Kazim couldn't do it? Let's talk now. We have a call. Call her good night.
Saeed, that belonged to Faris. That belonged to Faris. I tell you, it's only games and politics up there. You see the strategy? That is Faris' business there. So Faris getting all the kicks. Faris getting it. That's why he leave up there. Because he ain't getting enough up there. So he come down here to get what he rightfully supposed to get. Because it's his company. Thank you.
We get video. So Trinidad and Tobago, I am asking a question. Why? Look, I will tell you this, eh? I will tell you this. I will tell you this. The public sector investment program. Here they say, already we added that $386 million have been allocated through the public sector investment program. And they are going to spend approximately $400 million. Why did Faris leave the Attorney General office as he was the Attorney General for Trinidad and Tobago to come down in the Ministry of Rural Development and Local Government? Where he leave law to come and fix road? Or let's say something. Or let's say, watch me now, man. I ain't going to leave law to go down and fix road. So the video that the guy spoke about just now, we could get on a widescreen. The road that the guy spoke about just now, this is the road, we have the audio. Listen to it, you.
And did some work. Look at this. Good night, Mr. Saeed. Today is the 11th day of January 2023. Since February 2020, WASA dug this area to undertake repairs to a leaking line since February 2020. Today, the Ministry of Works personnel came and did some work. Look at this. Look at the condition. Look at the work they did here. Throw some hot mix on the spot, didn't roll it, and left. This other area, when I spoke to them about it, they are telling me that they are not responsible for paving this area. This is right in front of my yard and in front of my driveway. This has caused severe cracks to my retaining wall and my house. When heavy equipment pass, they drop into this hole and cause my property to vibrate, causing severe cracks to my home. Please highlight this so the citizens can see what we go through in this country. And I'm appealing to the Ministry of Works to have...
Viewers, if you heard the video, their job is not to pave. Their job is to just pass and drop the material. However it's spread out, it's spread out. But you heard the after effects of the pothole. Who's going to pay for that now? Who's going to pay for that? The individual now have to bear the cost of their retaining wall cracked and shift. Imagine that, eh? So my big question tonight is, why did Faris, would you leave a job dealing with law that governs the country to go down and fix road? Let's come now, man, Trinidad and Tobago. Come now, man. How many of you who is in a doctor field will leave that field to go and work taxi? Not condemning taxi, eh? But I'm showing you the difference. I'm showing you the difference in job placement and quality of job. Somebody say something, Trinidad and Tobago. I mean, I may be foolish, but I don't have that foolish same time. You go tell me I go resign as the Attorney General for Trinidad and Tobago and come down to Patch Road? Nah, I ain't coming down to Patch. You talking about, I in my office, as the Attorney General, have ranks all over the world being the Attorney General of Trinidad and Tobago. You go tell me I go leave my nice, warm, air-conditioned office to come down and put on a hat and a tall boot and go out and get born in the sun? Trinidad and Tobago, I ain't hearing earlier. I'm not hearing earlier. You think I live in my nice, warm, air-conditioned office to go outside and get wet in the road clean and drain? Not condemning. Not condemning, but I want a lot to understand it for that. Understand that. Oh, side, you shouldn't say that. I just said it. I just said it. I just said it. I have to be a clown to leave my nice air-conditioned office where I am the Attorney General for Trinidad and Tobago, going in the Parliament to come down and fix road, put on a tall boots and go outside and facing the sun with an umbrella if rain falling and get wet and get it cold and going by the doctor and come back sneezing. That is what you call real talk, my friends. That is what you call real talk. It's not easy out here, you know. It's not easy. There's an ongoing water leak in Pump Trace in Picton Lavantil Road. Persons are calling on authorities to rectify the issue. Look at the water leaking. Look at that. Look at it. If water is not aware of it, well, I feel tonight they'll be aware of it. They'll be aware of it tonight. Look at that. Ooh. It's like a fountain. Look at it. Look at it. Like a fountain. Nevertheless, viewers, a Marsh Road repair program for 2023, which Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley promised last year, has begun. The Ministry of Works and Transport and contractor COSAL group of companies were on Saddle Road in Santa Cruz conducting road repair works, paving works. Minister Rohan Sinanan asked citizens to accommodate the construction workers. Now, taking place in various areas, as COSAL and some of the other contractors have agreed to do a lot of night work. He asked the population to bear with the contractors as their work being done is for betterment of the country. But we know that they should do it broad daylight. Nevertheless, viewers, so we come to the end of our program tonight, viewers. Hope you enjoyed our program tonight. We thank the individual for sending in the video for us, viewers. Today is Wednesday, the 18th of January. There's a rerun of this program tomorrow from 11:30 to 12:30, and we'll be right back here on Thursday night. So until we meet again, good night.